Queen Latifah's life is not just a journey to success, but also one filled with heartbreak and loss that touches everyone who hears it. Behind the spotlight of a talented artist, a hip-hop legend, and a cultural icon are personal tragedies that few people know about. In today's video, we'll take a look back at the highs and lows of Queen Latifah's life, the moments of glory, and the deepest sorrows. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next emotional videos. Queen Latifah. A tough childhood that shaped an icon. Born as Dana Owens in 1970 in Newark, New Jersey, Queen Latifah grew up in an environment filled with struggles and hardships. Her family lived in low-income housing, surrounded by crime and poverty. Despite the financial difficulties, she was fortunate to have a loving and supportive family. Her mother, a dedicated teacher, instilled in her the values of strength, perseverance, and self-belief. Even as a child, Queen Latifah understood the hardships of those around her, which fueled her dream of one day rising above her circumstances and using her success to help others in need. Although she was raised in a challenging environment, Queen Latifah refused to let her circumstances define her. She quickly discovered her artistic talents, singing, acting, and songwriting, using them as an escape from the harsh realities of life. Hip-hop became more than just a passion. It was a platform for her to tell her story, express her struggles, and share her hopes and dreams. Her tough childhood became the foundation of her resilience and determination, shaping her into the powerful and inspiring figure the world knows today. A gift turned tragic. The loss that shattered Queen Latifah's world. In 1992, Queen Latifah's life was forever changed by a devastating tragedy. Her brother, Lancelot Owens Jr., was killed in a motorcycle accident at just 23 years old. What made the pain even more unbearable was the heartbreaking truth. The motorcycle he was riding, the one that took his life, had been a gift from Latifah herself. What was once a symbol of love and pride suddenly became a haunting reminder of loss. The guilt weighed heavily on her, turning into a silent torment that followed her everywhere. It wasn't just the grief of losing a beloved brother. It was the crushing feeling that, in some unintended way, she had played a part in his death. Losing her brother, someone she saw as her greatest emotional anchor, sent Latifah into a deep psychological crisis. She withdrew from the world, struggling with overwhelming guilt, emptiness, and depression. In rare moments of vulnerability, she admitted that there were days she couldn't even get out of bed, when nothing in life seemed to matter anymore. Even music, the very thing that once gave her life meaning, felt distant and hollow. But in the darkest moments, the memory of her brother, his voice, his encouragement, his unwavering love, became the light she clung to. Over time, she found the strength to keep going, not to forget, but to live in a way that honored him. Through the pain, she carried his spirit with her, using it as a quiet force to push forward, one day at a time. From darkness to light, Queen Latifah's journey through depression and healing. After the sudden and heartbreaking loss of her brother, Queen Latifah sank into a deep depression that consumed her from the inside out. Each day felt like a battle with overwhelming grief and emotional exhaustion. Desperate to numb the pain, she turned to alcohol, hoping it would silence the thoughts and memories that haunted her. Night after night, she drank not to celebrate life, but to escape it, to forget, even if just for a few hours. But the temporary relief only deepened her despair. The more she drank, the more distant she became from herself, her purpose, and the world around her. Her passion for music faded, and her once unshakable confidence crumbled under the weight of guilt and sorrow. Yet, in the midst of that darkness, Queen Latifah found strength through her faith and the unwavering support of her family. They stood by her side, reminding her of who she was and helping her find the will to heal. Slowly, she began to confront her pain, rather than run from it. Through that process, she emerged not just stronger, but transformed. Today, Latifah is a powerful advocate for mental health awareness, especially within the Black community, where emotional struggles are often overlooked or stigmatized. By sharing her own experience, she's become a beacon of hope, proving that seeking help isn't a sign of weakness, but an act of courage. Her journey is a reminder that even in our darkest moments, healing is possible, and that no one should have to suffer in silence. An unforgettable bond, Queen Latifah, and the lasting memory of Mike Epps. Queen Latifah of encouragement who never stopped believing in the potential of others. During his final appearance on The Queen Latifah Show, the two shared a heartfelt moment, reminiscing about their long history, going all the way back to when Latifah was just 16 years old. They laughed, swapped stories, and celebrated a friendship that had stood the test of time, fame, and everything in between. When Mike Epps passed away, Latifah was deeply moved, sharing an emotional tribute that captured the depth of their bond. "I will always remember his silly smile. I love you, Mike, and I've always been proud of you." Her words weren't just a farewell. They were a celebration of a friendship rooted in mutual respect, love, and shared dreams. For Latifah, Mike Epps will always hold a place in her heart, a reminder of how the people who believe in us help shape who we become. The scar she embraced. Queen Latifah's journey in celebrating imperfection. On Queen Latifah's forehead is a small, noticeable scar, one she's never tried to hide. To her, it's not a flaw to be erased, but a powerful reminder of her childhood and everything she's overcome. In an industry obsessed with perfection and polished appearances, Latifah stands out by proudly embracing what makes her different. That scar represents resilience, growth, and authenticity, qualities she holds dear. Rather than covering it up, she's chosen to let it be seen, believing that beauty isn't about being flawless, but about being real. For Latifah, imperfection is not something to be ashamed of. It's something to be honored. It's part of her story, and every part of that story deserves respect. The Queen Latifah Show, though it only aired for 2 seasons and ended in 2015, left a lasting impression on audiences everywhere. More than just a talk show, it was a platform for real stories, uplifting conversations, and meaningful moments. With her signature warmth, wit, and down-to-earth presence, Latifah created a space where guests felt safe and viewers felt seen. The show reflected who she truly is: strong, compassionate, and deeply human. Even though it came to an end, the Queen Latifah Show continues to be remembered as a powerful part of her legacy, proving that her impact extends far beyond music and film. It lives in the hearts of those she's inspired along the way. Between life and death. The split-second moment that changed Queen Latifah forever. In 1995, Queen Latifah experienced a terrifying moment that would leave a lasting scar on her heart. Her boyfriend at the time, who was also her trusted bodyguard, was shot during a violent carjacking. In the chaos of that life-or-death situation, when most would freeze in fear, Latifah managed to stay shockingly composed. Though panicked and overwhelmed, she didn't let the fear consume her. Instead, she sprang into action, quickly flagging down a taxi and rushing him to the nearest hospital. That split-second decision, fueled by love and instinct, may have been what ultimately saved his life. As sirens blared, and emergency lights flashed, she held his hand tightly, whispering prayers, doing everything she could to keep him awake, to keep him here. That near-death experience didn't just shake Latifah emotionally, it fundamentally shifted her perspective on life. It forced her to confront how fragile everything truly is, how the people we love can be taken from us in an instant. She realized that courage doesn't always mean being fearless. It means acting in the face of fear, especially when it matters most. Even though their relationship eventually ended, that moment stayed with her as a powerful reminder of love, resilience, and the strength that rises in moments of crisis. It deepened her appreciation for life, for human connection, and for the importance of staying grounded, even when the world around you feels like it's falling apart. Falling to rise. How Queen Latifah's legal troubles became a turning point in her life. Queen Latifah, known for her powerhouse presence in music and film, once shocked the public when she found herself entangled in serious legal trouble. She faced charges for illegal possession of a firearm, drug-related offenses, and reckless driving. These incidents shook not only her image, but also the confidence of fans who had long seen her as a symbol of empowerment and resilience. But rather than letting the headlines define her, these moments of crisis became a powerful wake-up call, one that forced her to confront the parts of herself she could no longer ignore. Instead of hiding or making excuses, Latifah chose to face her mistakes head-on. She admitted that the legal issues were a reflection of deeper emotional struggles, battles rooted in unresolved pain and poor choices made in moments of vulnerability. The consequences were real. Her reputation took a hit, her career was at risk, and her sense of self was shaken. But in those quiet, uncertain moments, she began doing the hard work, looking inward, reassessing her life, and figuring out who she truly wanted to be. Through that introspection, Latifah slowly began to rebuild. She distanced herself from toxic influences, cut ties with destructive habits, and leaned into healthier ways of living. Music became her therapy, not just a career, but a platform to tell her story and connect with others who had lost their way. Her art began to reflect her growth, her honesty, and her desire to uplift rather than impress. The transformation wasn't instant, but it was real. And with each step forward, she proved that setbacks don't have to define your future. They can be the foundation for something far more meaningful. Today, Queen Latifah is celebrated not just for her talent, but for her resilience and authenticity. Her past mistakes are no longer marks of shame, but reminders of how far she's come. She's living proof that you can stumble, fall, and still rise stronger, wiser, and more compassionate than before. Her journey isn't just inspiring, it's a testament to the power of owning your truth, learning from it, and choosing to grow. Betrayed trust. The heartbreaking loss that shook Queen Latifah's world. In 2021, Queen Latifah reportedly experienced a deep and personal loss when her beloved dog tragically passed away under heartbreaking circumstances. To Latifah, her dog wasn't just a pet, it was a loyal companion, a source of comfort through life's most difficult moments. Losing that bond left a painful void in her life, but what made the situation even more devastating were the conflicting reports about how it happened. What began as a private tragedy quickly became the center of public attention due to troubling allegations surrounding the incident. According to a widely publicized lawsuit, celebrity dog trainer Cesar Millan was accused of intentionally covering up the real cause of death. Rather than telling the truth, Millan allegedly claimed that Latifah's dog had been hit by a car. However, court documents suggested that it was Millan's own dog, with a known history of aggressive behavior, that attacked and killed her pet. If true, this wasn't just a tragic accident, but a serious act of negligence and dishonesty that left Latifah blindsided and emotionally devastated. What made the situation even more painful was Latifah's previously close relationship with Milan. She had trusted him, not only as a renowned professional, but as a friend, and felt safe leaving her beloved dog in his care. That trust, once strong and unquestioned, was shattered. The betrayal cut even deeper, because it came from someone she once held in high regard, someone she believed would protect what mattered most to her. Though Queen Latifah has remained largely private about the incident, the emotional toll is undeniable. This wasn't just the loss of a pet. It was the loss of trust, and the realization that even those we believe in most can let us down. Her silence speaks volumes, echoing a grief that words may never fully capture. It's a painful reminder of how fragile relationships can be, and how quickly they can break under the weight of deception and loss. A childhood mark. The scar that defines. Queen Latifah's authentic beauty. Queen Latifah has never hidden the small scar on her forehead, a mark she's carried since she was just 3 years old. It happened during a playful game of tag with her brother, when she tripped over a telephone cord and hit her head on the corner of a wall. That moment left more than a childhood memory. It left a permanent scar that would become a part of her identity. But instead of feeling embarrassed or trying to cover it up, Latifah embraces it. She said that the scar isn't something she wants to hide, but something that gives her face character. To her, it's a symbol of her story, her childhood, and the imperfect beauty that makes each person unique. It's not a flaw. It's a feature that speaks to where she's been and who she is. Latifah has also spoken out against magazines that try to edit the scar out of her photos. She's been clear. She doesn't want it erased. In her words, we don't need to try and make everything perfect. She believes that real beauty lies in authenticity, not in airbrushed perfection. By proudly showing her scar, she sends a powerful message, not just about self-acceptance, but about challenging unrealistic beauty standards that so many people feel pressured to meet. Her stance is more than personal. It's a statement, a reminder that our imperfections are not something to be ashamed of, but something to be honored. Through her confidence and honesty, Queen Latifah continues to inspire others to love themselves exactly as they are. The 1996 rap clash. When Queen Latifah and Foxy Brown shook the hip-hop scene. In 1996, the hip-hop world witnessed a fiery clash between two of its most influential female voices, Queen Latifah and Foxy Brown. The tension began when Foxy Brown released the track 10% Diss, a diss record that threw sharp jabs at Latifah's gender identity and sense of style. It was a bold and controversial move that quickly grabbed the media's attention, igniting buzz across the industry. But Queen Latifah wasn't one to stay silent. She clapped back with Name Callin' Part 2, a direct response that criticized Foxy's provocative image and fashion choices, drawing a clear line between her own brand of empowerment and what she saw as over-sexualization. The exchange was bold, raw, and unapologetic. Two powerful women standing their ground in a genre dominated by male voices. While the diss tracks stirred plenty of drama at the time, what stood out was how both artists chose not to escalate the feud further. Unlike other high-profile beefs that spiral into long-running rivalries, the tension between Queen Latifah and Foxy Brown eventually faded. Neither side continued the back-and-forth, and the conflict slowly cooled off without turning into a media circus. In the end, the brief rap battle became a snapshot, of a moment in 90s hip-hop history, where competition was fierce, but mutual respect and professionalism still had the final word. It remains a memorable chapter, showing that even in the heat of lyrical warfare, growth and maturity can prevail. 14 years of devotion. The unbreakable bond between Queen Latifah and her mother. For 14 long and deeply personal years, Queen Latifah wasn't just a celebrated artist. She was a devoted daughter, standing by her mother, Rita Owens, through an exhausting battle with heart disease. From the moment her mother was diagnosed, Latifah made it her mission to care for her, often putting her own career and personal life on hold to make sure her mom had everything she needed. Whether it was sitting through long hospital stays, managing medications, or preparing heart-healthy meals, she was always there, present, attentive, and full of love. To Latifah, her mother wasn't just family. She was her rock, her guide, her safe space. Through every up and down, they shared quiet, intimate moments that taught Latifah the true meaning of strength, sacrifice, and unconditional love. When Rita Owens passed away in 2018, she left behind a silence that echoed through every corner of Latifah's life. Even though she had spent years bracing for that day, nothing could prepare her for the heartbreak of saying goodbye. The loss didn't hit all at once. It seeped in slowly, through the absence of her voice, the empty chair at the table, the memories that surfaced without warning. And yet, even in her grief, Latifah drew strength from the legacy her mother left behind. A legacy of grace, kindness, and resilience. That enduring bond, forged through years of caregiving and deep connection, became the foundation on which Latifah continued to grow. Her mother's love didn't end. It simply transformed into a quiet force that still guides her every step. The power of her voice. How Queen Latifah uses music and advocacy to uplift women. Queen Latifah is more than just a gifted performer. She's a trailblazer dedicated to amplifying the voices of women, especially women of color, in an entertainment industry long dominated by inequality and underrepresentation. With a deep understanding of how often female perspectives are silenced or ignored, she founded the Queen Collective, a groundbreaking initiative aimed at supporting and empowering women filmmakers. Through this platform, she helps bring authentic, bold, and diverse stories to life. Stories that challenge stereotypes and demand to be heard. For Latifah, the Queen Collective isn't just a creative project, it's a mission. It's about breaking down barriers, making space for new voices, and reshaping how the world views women in film and media. It stands as a powerful declaration of equality, dignity, and the urgent need for change. One of the most iconic examples of Latifah's commitment to advocacy through art is her legendary track, UNITY, a song born from real-life pain and fueled by a desire for justice. The inspiration came from a deeply personal place, after she witnessed a close family member suffer from domestic abuse. The anger, helplessness, and fierce need to protect someone she loved were all poured into the lyrics, transforming her outrage into a powerful anthem. UNITY is more than just a hit. It's a call to action, a voice for the voiceless, and a force that challenges societal norms around violence, respect, and womanhood. For Queen Latifah, music has always been more than entertainment. It's a weapon, a healing force, and a bold platform for truth, strength, and solidarity. Queen Latifah. A childhood marked by struggles and sacrifice. Queen Latifah's early years were shaped by both love and hardship. Her father, Lancelot Owens Sr., a Vietnam War veteran, struggled with addiction, a battle that slowly distanced him from his family. The effects of his addiction created emotional turmoil in the household, leaving young Latifah to witness firsthand the pain and instability it brought. His absence became more apparent as time went on, forcing Latifah to grow up faster than most children her age. Despite these challenges, she never stopped loving her father. But his struggles left a lasting impression on her, shaping her perspective on resilience, family, and the importance of inner strength. At just 8 years old, Latifah faced another major turning point: her parents' divorce. Left to raise two children alone, her mother, Rita Owens, took on the immense responsibility of being both a provider and protector. As a schoolteacher, she worked tirelessly to ensure her children had the best possible upbringing despite financial hardships. She instilled in Latifah the values of education, perseverance, and self-worth, teaching her that no obstacle was too great to overcome. Rita's strength and unwavering support became the foundation of Latifah's success, proving that even in the face of adversity, love and determination could pave the way for a brighter future. A silent struggle. The hidden trauma Queen Latifah endured. Queen Latifah's childhood wasn't just marked by financial struggles, it also carried a deep, hidden pain that she's had to live with for most of her life. As a young girl, she was sexually abused by a babysitter, an experience so traumatic that she kept it buried inside for years, unable to tell anyone. Fear, confusion, and an overwhelming sense of guilt consumed her, making her wary of the world and distrustful of those around her. Instead of reaching out for help, she chose to suppress the trauma, carrying it alone as a form of self-protection. But no matter how hard she tried to bury it, the memories lingered, quietly haunting her thoughts and emotions like a scar that never fades. Because of that painful experience, Latifah built a tough exterior to hide the emotional wounds within. She later admitted that the trauma deeply shaped the way she viewed people, especially when it came to romantic relationships. Trusting someone became a huge challenge, as the old memories constantly made her fear being hurt again. These invisible walls made it difficult for her to open up, and they often got in the way of her search for personal happiness. Still, over time, Latifah learned to face her past. She found a way to draw strength from her pain and turned it into a source of a gracious goodbye. When the Queen Latifah show came to a bittersweet end. Despite a strong start and a highly successful first season, the Queen Latifah show was cancelled after just 2 seasons. With her warm, charismatic presence, Queen Latifah brought something special to daytime television, a talk show that blended heart, humor, and real conversation. She welcomed inspiring guests, tackled meaningful topics, and created a space where viewers felt seen and uplifted. Even though the show maintained a steady audience, it couldn't escape the fierce competition in the crowded talk show landscape. After airing a total of 248 episodes through March 2015, producers made the difficult decision to bring the show to an end, closing the curtain on a project filled with passion and purpose. In the emotional final episode, Latifah appeared with her signature smile, though her eyes hinted at the bittersweetness of the moment. She delivered a heartfelt message of gratitude to her viewers, saying this had been a beautiful journey, one she would always hold close to her heart. To her, the Queen Latifah show wasn't just about celebrity interviews or entertainment. It was about connection, authenticity, and celebrating the human experience. While the show may no longer be on air, its impact continues to resonate. It remains a powerful reminder of Latifah's versatility and the unique voice she brought to daytime television. Real, relatable, and deeply rooted in love for the audience she served. Queen Latifah's story shows that behind the spotlight are deep losses and incredible strength. She turned the scars of her past into a source of power, inspiring millions. Despite facing tragedy and pressure, she remained honest, resilient, and true to herself. Latifah is a symbol of courage and self-acceptance. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our next emotional videos.